Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here with me today and welcome. I hope everybody had a great weekend and I hope you guys are looking forward to a wonderful Valentine's Day. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Evelyn Knight. Obviously, I am the CEO and founder of Childcare Business Professionals, which is a company that helps owners and directors learn how to take control of their centers, make them profitable, and make them successful. So, if you've been following my journey, you know that it has not been easy for me. And I'd love to get some interaction today. Today is not the best day. I know it's Valentine's Day, and many of you are looking forward to some fun things today, right? You guys are looking forward to a lot, and today can be a happy day for many people. So today is my 30th anniversary. I would have been married. Well, I would have been married 30 years today. I'm not old enough for that, but today, 30 years ago today, my husband, who passed away in July, actually, we went on a date and we'd actually been getting to know each other. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. So it was 30 years ago today that we basically went into a romantic relationship together and committed to a life together. So doing this live, I really debated a lot over whether I was going to do this today. I debated on whether I'd have one of my team members take it over. Thank you, Lisa. I debated on, was I going to show up today, because I knew today would be a rough day for me. So I am off for the rest of the day after this. I'm just taking the day. But after I really, really thought about it, I decided that I was going to show up today and I was going to do the Mindset Monday for you guys, because I think it's important to be real. I don't ever want to put this image in the world that isn't real. I know a lot of times I make the resilience probably look easy. You guys see me on camera. You see just a quick snippet of my life. You're seeing the positive that I put out there. But as I was thinking about it, I thought, we need to show you reality. What is it really like all the time? Every day is not good. I am not with it every day. I don't hold it together every day. So that's really what made me decide to do this and not to have someone fill in for me today. I knew today would be a rough day. It is very rough the whole weekend. Sorry. This weekend was very hard, but I do think it's important for you guys to see the hard, not just the parts where I'm winning, right? And that is why I decided to be here today. I did make a conscious decision because I knew I wouldn't be able to hold it together. But if I'm going to come in as a business coach and I'm going to help the ECE world see the potential of what can be, you guys have to see the honest to God truth of everything. I have to keep it real. And that's why I chose to be on camera today anyway. That's why I chose to come here anyway today, because I knew this is honest. It's not always pretty, right? I know I get messages from you guys all the time about, how do you do it? How do you stay so positive? How do you do it? How do you do it? And there's so many of you who just, they're like, I'm not going through nearly what you're going through, but I still have such a hard time showing up. And so as I was thinking about whether or not I was going to do this today, I just really thought, you know what? They need to see this. They need to see that every day isn't easy, but I fight through it. I push through anyway. I don't let it control me, right? But I do have to give myself days. Like this weekend, I decided to be off this weekend. And I just took some time to just feel the feelings I need to feel. I'm not going to suppress them. I can't. I understand that if I suppress these feelings, they're going to come out. They'll force their way to the surface if I don't allow them to come. So I have to allow it, right? So I gave myself Saturday, Sunday. I am off after this. I think I do have one appointment, but that's it today. And then I gave myself the rest of the day to just be. And that is important for you guys to see, because as you're struggling, we focus on just what you guys can see, right? Or we focus on those hard times, but we need to understand that amongst the positivity that I show you, there are struggles too. The difference is that I'm not going to let the struggle control what happens to me in the future, right? Today I'm going to give myself the day. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to throw some fits, I'm sure, because life isn't fair, right? And today of all days is the day that I know it sucks. It sucks sometimes. But tomorrow, I also know that I have to show up. I can't allow what I'm feeling today to show up tomorrow. So I'm going to let myself have my day. I'm going to feel everything I need to feel. I'm going to cry. Probably going to hike up into the mountains, do some screaming. But tomorrow, I need to show up, right? And that's why I showed up for you guys here today, because I think it's important that you don't only see the good. I think it's important for you to see the honest to God truth of what it's like to persevere through really hard times. So I did take some notes, and it is kind of hard for me to concentrate. So I am going to go off my notes a little bit more today than I usually do. But I want you guys to know, and as I was sitting down really thinking about what am I going to say to you today to show you that no matter what happens, there's always hope, right? Even today, as I look at what should have been my 30th anniversary, there's still hope. So how do I approach that? How do I know that in my mind, even though a day like today is really, really hard on me? And what I really came to realize is that I get to decide what I believe about myself and the future. I can't control the future. I can't control the events. I will be the first to tell you, right? I lost my husband. I cannot control what happens to me, but I can control what I believe about me. The person I know I will show up and be tomorrow, I can control that. The person that I will be a year from now, 2 years from now, the decisions I make today that will affect me and my position in life a year from now and 5 years from now, I choose that. I choose it, right? I get to choose. Am I going to allow the sadness I feel today to overcome me? I don't think anyone would fault me for it if I just decided I quit. I'm done. I can't handle this, right? But how is that going to affect me a year from now? How is that going to affect me 5 years from now? Right? Where am I going to be if I don't choose to move on and move forward? And yeah, sometimes it's very hard. On days like today, it is very hard to get up and to move forward. But I have no choice. And I want you guys to understand, I do have a choice, but I don't allow myself to have a choice. I tell myself in my mind, I have no choice, because the person my children are going to see a year from now, 5 years from now, the person my staff relies on. I have over 20 people whose paychecks rely on me, right? If I choose to fold and allow this to overcome me, what happens to all of them? Who am I showing my children that I want them to grow up to be, to model, right? Would anyone blame me? They would just probably say, well, she just faced this tragedy and she lost everything. I mean, we see it all the time, don't we? Where people cannot bounce back out of things like this, and they don't have the resilience, and they lose everything. And it's tragic, and nobody is mad at them. Nobody just, I mean, honestly, we're all just like, oh, it was so sad, this and this, but right. But I can't let that happen. And I know I will not let that happen. And it is a decision that I have consciously made, where I literally have to tell myself, I get to choose who I am tomorrow. I am not going to let this control me. And that's where I really have to take my thoughts and I really have to just grab them and tell myself sometimes, you can't think this way. You cannot think this way. The world hasn't ended. Life goes on. And let me tell you guys, somebody who is very dear to me lost her husband suddenly a couple weeks ago. And it just triggered memories for me, right? And I realized that one of the hardest things to go through when and not just losing somebody, I'm sure some of you guys are going through some other things that feel huge and heavy for you too, is when you're going through really traumatic experiences, it almost feels like your life is on pause. It's like someone hit the pause button. And there came this moment for me where I looked around at everybody in my world and their lives kept going. And they went back to work. Just life kept going. Even the companies I own, they just keep going and going. And I just kind of thought, what's going on here? How do things just keep going? I mean, there was literally a moment for me where it was weird that life just keeps going on. And I didn't know how to deal with that. I honestly didn't know how to deal with the fact that tomorrow comes, right? And sometimes it's still hard, but I realized that it's almost like a new beginning for me. The old Evelyn is gone, right? And the new one has to emerge and come on from here on out. When huge things happen like this, you change. It changes who you are forever. But I sat down with myself and I literally had to write out, okay, my old life is gone. I am a new person today. Who do I want to be? Right? And this is something I tell you guys to do a lot. And let me tell you, in the last 3 years, going through this journey of watching my husband die slowly, going through the pandemic, I've done this a lot. It used to be where I might do this once a year, but lately I do it a lot. I write myself letters. And I write a thank you letter and I basically tell myself, thank you for being the person who needed to be and I'll list the things, right? And I literally will tell myself, thank you for doing this, 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 and this. And what I'm doing is I really think of who do I want to be in a year? And how am I going to get through this time? How am I going to push through here? And I basically write myself a letter and I spell out the action steps that I'm going to have to take to survive. And I thank myself for doing them. And in a year, July coming up, I'll open up that letter and I'll read it to myself, right? I think I actually wrote that letter in September, but I'll read it. And sometimes I have to go back and remind myself, okay, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Because when things like this come in, they tend to overtake us, and it can sometimes be very difficult to remember even what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so there are days where I do have to open up the letter and, oh yeah, that's right. I have to show up today. I actually have to write curriculum today. So, I mean, it literally gets that detailed, right? Because sometimes things can be so consuming that we do forget. And I do. One of the things I'm really learning too is that trauma affects our brain in ways that are very profound, much more profound than I ever imagined. And doing work to recuperate my brain from the trauma that I've been through has been life-changing for me. It's really helped me to see that those habits I had are really what's getting me through, right? So that's something I really want you guys to think about. If you're really struggling, I know I have been through a lot. And that's where I started the habit. I know I can't even remember the first time I heard it. I know I am not original to the idea of writing yourself a thank you letter, but it's something I started years ago when I first was diagnosed with neurological disease. And I thought my life was over then. And then I almost went bankrupt and I thought my life was over then. So I basically realized I needed some techniques in my life to bounce back from these things. And that's when I started this habit. Well, now going through the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life, I use these techniques so that tomorrow I can get up and I can actually live, right? Because life goes on, whether we like it or not. And I don't want to put myself in a position 5 years from now where I've created disasters. I don't want to create disasters for other people's lives, right? I want my children to see that their mom went through some really hard times, but she got back up and she was okay, right? That she did it. And I have to remind myself that I choose where I'm going to be. My husband passed away 7 months ago. I choose where I am today, right? I could have just folded. I could have shut down my second company, the company that I'm bringing to you right now. I could have, and I thought about it. I did, because it was really hard. But I chose, no, I can't. I have a legacy. I have a mission. God put me here for a reason, and God will help me get through this, right? And that's something I also have to say, you guys, that I honestly don't know how people get through things like this without God in their life. I couldn't do it. So I just, I can't take the credit. God has led me where I need to be. He's given me the people in my life I need, and he's helped me when I need it. It's always just comes to me. It's just amazing how much he comes alongside you when you allow him to, right? I can't take credit for any of this. He's always aligned this for me. But I think it's important for us to know, who do we see ourselves as, and really define that. Look at, who do you see yourself as? And if you don't like parts of it, work on changing it. Make a conscious effort to create your identity. I'm always talking to you guys about creating your center's brand, right? But you can create who you are too in your heart. If there are things that you don't like, work on it. If you're a Christ follower, pray about it. He will help you, right? If not, journal, work on it, do the work, get therapy if you have to, do what you have to do. It is life-changing, and you will thank yourself in the end, but do what you need to do for you. Let me see my notes again really quick. The other thing I was really thinking about is, and one of the reasons I came to you guys today, is because I asked myself, if I'm really portraying a picture of reality to the world, or if I'm making my life look like it's not what it really is, right? So I had to sit down and ask myself, am I fighting reality, or am I being real? And that's one of the reasons I came to you today, because I knew I wanted you to see real. I am not fighting reality, right? I do cry myself to sleep some nights. I do have those moments where I know I can't work like today. I knew I would not be able to work today. I knew all weekend it was going to be a rough weekend. So I blocked it off. I actually went and ran away to my RV and spent a few days just to be, right? Just because I knew. So I'm not running from reality. I'm dealing with it, but I'm consciously setting out the time. I schedule that time where I know, okay, it's my 30th anniversary. This is going to be rough. Can't do anything for these 3 days. Give yourself time, right? It really helps. Instead of running, if I ran from reality, it's going to come back at me. It's going to fester, and eventually it's going to come out and it's going to blow up. So it's much, much easier for me to give myself these days, give myself 3 days to feel what I need to feel, to deal with what I need to deal with, to get it out, to cry, to do what I need to do, so that tomorrow I can be an effective leader for my teams, right? So I want you guys to really ask yourself, are you fighting reality? Right? Because we can't. Now, on the other hand, when I was looking at the work I'm doing, I'm currently writing a book, and I'm writing a book to help people understand, how do you keep going through really hard times? Like, how do you not let them stop you? How do you not let it stop your life? And I realized that I'm actually using my reality. So instead of fighting what is really going on in my life, I'm using it to make my life better. to help my children grow. And I'm also using it because I do believe that God gives us circumstances to help others. So now I can help other people out there. I can help you in the ECE world. I can help not just people in the ECE. Lately, I've been helping a lot of people who aren't even in ECE, who are just high level professionals going through things, who are just don't think they can handle it all. Right. So how can I use this to better myself and the world around me? So one of the last things I wrote down is don't shy away from possibilities just because of what is happening. Reality is hard to deal with sometimes. Reality can be very hard to deal with, but it doesn't mean that you can shy away from it, and you shouldn't. Embrace your reality, use it and turn it into something wonderful and beautiful, right? Would I have ever chosen this reality? Absolutely not. Not in a million years. But I am going to take my reality and I'm going to turn it into something wonderful, right? And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to turn my reality into something beautiful. What I've gone through is not beautiful. It's horrible. And I don't wish it on anybody. But I can use it for good, and I will. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with today, and then I'm just going to wrap it up, is one of the things that I've been really learning about. Amy Van Slambrook is an amazing, she does a lot, but something I've learned from her, she is a very high level psychotherapist, and she's on Facebook. You guys can find her. Her name's Amy Van Slambrook. She has taught me about if and, okay, and I know that kind of sounds funny, but I'll explain. So I found that I was really stuck in my mind in ifs, right? And so the way I saw everything, the world around me and my situation, everything basically was, if it's this way, it can't be that way, right? If I am happy, I cannot be sad. If I am successful, I cannot fail. If I am loved, I cannot be hated, right? So, one of the things that she teaches that was amazing and absolutely life changing for me is, as you're going through trauma, a lot of times we take the and out. We forget there is an and, right? And everything becomes black and white. So, I found that I was basically just working myself to death, because if I was going to be successful, I had to do this. I had to do this. I had to do this. I can't rest. You have to work, right? If I rest, I can't be successful. Well, from what I've learned from Amy is that there is an and it's okay to have an and. I can be happy and sad, right? My life is full of joy. Most of the people in my life will tell you I am a pretty joyful person. 90% of the times, I am very happy and joyful, even today. But I'm also sad, right? And that's okay. I can mourn the life that I lost and be excited about the one that's coming. It is okay to have an and. And I think so many of you that I'm talking to right now are trapped in the if, because I know I was. We get so trapped in the, but if this happens, then this has to happen. Or if I am this, then I can't be that. It's black and white. So the last thing I'm going to encourage you today is take time for yourself and ask yourself, on those struggles that you're having, where are you stuck in the ifs? And where can you make room for the and, right? If you have failed something in the past, that doesn't make you a failure. There can be an and. You can fail and you can succeed. I can be sad for the life I lost, and I can be excited for the life that is before me. When my husband first died, the first time I laughed, I felt really guilty. I felt really guilty about laughing. And I felt like if I'm laughing, that means I can't be sad and I can't miss him. Right? And it really made me feel bad. And there's a lot of those things. The days I was actually happy for the first time, I felt like if I'm happy, I'm not mourning him. And so understanding and consciously telling myself that I can have an and has been so liberating and so freeing for me that if there's one thing you guys remember from this, it's remember you can have an and. I can be really sad today and happy tomorrow, right? I can have a life after this because there is an and. It doesn't have to be if, right? Not everything is as black and white. So I hope that helps. If this helped somebody today, it makes it worth it. That's why God put me here. That's why I feel like I was called to do this video today, because I know somebody needed to hear it. Let me know in the comments. This was very hard, so let me know that it was worth my time and energy. Message me if it's personal and it's hard for you to talk about it on here. I know this is a public forum, so you can message me, but it does help on days like today when it is hard for me to get on camera, to say hello, to do this, to know that it is actually making a difference for you guys. So I hope everybody has a beautiful day. One last thing. When I'm depressed, I've realized I should not be left alone, because I did a thing that I'm somewhat regretting now, and I'm going to show you guys what I did. This little girl was being given away by on the side of the highway yesterday by some children, and I couldn't help but see that she was sad and needed a good home, and I brought her home with me. If you guys already know, I already have 3 dogs. I don't need another dog. She is, I know, right? A puppy. Yeah, I should not be left alone right now. She is an 8-month-old cross between, a border collie, German Shepherd, and, one more thing, husky, which is, you guys could probably tell by her 2 colored eyes. Well, when I went and saw her, she was the last puppy there. And the one of the people there actually said, nobody wants her because of her 2 colored eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, poor baby. Now I have to take her home with me. Nobody wants her. I want her, right? Well, I don't need another dog. So, see, this is reality, you guys. This is what reality looks like. Bringing home puppies when you really don't need them, when you already have 3 dogs, because I was sad and I saw her as sad and needing somebody to love. So I hope this helps you guys to know that sometimes, I know I make it sound easy on camera. I know you guys see this little snippet, but reality isn't always beautiful. Although she is, isn't she? She's beautiful and she deserves a good home. So I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you for taking the time. Bye, everybody.